What are we doing tonight?
I think you want to go to Africa.
Well, I do want to go to Africa, but I think tonight we'll go to a mythical Africa.
Oh, okay. Maybe there'll be more CGI and technology and robots.
And superheroes.
And maybe Bucky.
And Bucky.
Oh, maybe Bucky.
Let's go. Welcome back. We are back. We have another movie review for you guys, which is the Black Panther.
Yeah, if you hadn't already guessed from the title,
yeah.
the bit at the start, it's the Black Panther.
It's the Black Panther.
We also, later on in the video, we have these special little things from the preview.
Yes.
Early night. I mean, it's the same thing on that one, but there you go. There it is.
There you go.
We'll find out at the end of the video what's in them. We don't actually know. But first off, we're going to give you our non-spoilery things about the film. One, it's good.
It's
very good.
Oh, it's very good.
And that's not like, we love Marvel films, this is very good. It's just
a really great movie.
Like,
even if you didn't like superhero movies and you just wanted to go see something that looked really interesting, this is definitely the movie for you.
This is the one. I will say that it leans a little bit on the Civil War film, so if you're going to watch any other Marvel film, probably watch that first. But it fills you in a little bit, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't seen Marvel films before. It's very good. It's visually amazing. Like, CGI has never looked real like this, apart from Blade Runner, but you know.
I haven't seen that.
She hasn't seen that, so.
Especially considering our last movie review on this channel was Justice League.
I don't know why we're even doing this.
It's just this. We've gotten to the point in movies where you can use CGI and make it not look like CGI. Then you've got a really good.
It's fine.
It's more than fine.
Just give it a reason, give it some sort of grounding, and it works. And this film does that. It does that in the CGI, but also does it in all the visuals, all the over-the-topness of a superhero film.
And even the story. You know, you have, right at the beginning of the movie, you have this beautifully illustrated kind of basis, like a tribal history of where Black Panther has come from and where it is now. And then it goes into the story. It's not like a 10-minute quick rundown for you guys in the last, 3,000 years.
Pulling it from some other film. Maybe, they could have started with like 10-minute intertwined short stories of every other prince. But they didn't.
But they did it well.
They didn't. They just went, here's the story, let's get on with it.
This is what you really need to know. Now let's go into the movie.
What you also need to know about this film is that they treat literally every character with respect.
One thing at the end of the movie that I realised speaking to Will was that they didn't make one sexual innuendo joke the entire movie. And for a woman, that is so flipping refreshing.
Admittedly, for a woman that loves Deadpool, it's quite a funny thing to say. But it's because Deadpool is fine, that's the character. A lot of films just kind of like, just cram them in there for no reason.
Or they do it just because, like, that's what society kind of does. This absolute respect.
We'll talk more about what specifically it does in the spoilery bit, but another thing, music. If you love music, you'll love this movie. It does some very interesting things.
Yeah, they have this incredible mix of tribal, traditional African music and modern day R&B, which they just blend so brilliantly.
It's amazing.
And for someone who doesn't pay attention to the music quite a few times, I'm ever going, oh my gosh, the music.
Yeah, I was like, that's my job.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
He's trained me well.
I've got this. But apart from that, I think everything else is a bit spoilery. Number one things you need to know is it's good, so just see it.
It's really good.
Everyone in it is good.
Yes.
The music's good.
If you want an uplifting movie that just gets like right to your gut, definitely go see this movie. And visually stunning. The costumes, the colours, everything about this movie has just worked so well to create something that is really modern and fresh and relevant and definitely comments on society standards. It's like a new version of The Lion King.
It really is. There's a lot of, hey mate, no fly cameras. But we're going to move into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, go see the film. But if you have, keep on watching.
Or if you just like spoilers.
Yeah, if you don't really care. Yeah. Spoilers! Now my favourite Marvel films are like Iron Man, Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. One of those is less so what I'm about to talk about. But Marvel do really good personal stories. And stories that don't involve the end of the world. Or at least the end of the world is quite a fair way away and we're still focusing on the hero.
Can I just pause there for a second? It was so nice to have a movie that didn't make it out to be the end of the world. Okay, we can restart.
Yeah, Exactly that.
And it's almost like in doing that, they kind of pause and say, hey, you know, they are actually an intricate part of this world. They're human beings, somewhat. They're superhuman beings. They have the same passions and, you know, goals and love that we do. And let's just talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
They are, like, get you to love the character before just chucking them into a movie. I think it's because they were like a cared for character by the main character. So everybody in this film was somebody who was intricately connected to Black Panther, whose name I don't remember.
No.
It's very African. We're gonna put it down.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Just I want to see it magically appear in my hands.
There it is. I'm hoping the more times you do that, the more I'll remember it. But it's nowhere near the front. It's not here. It's like it's on my toes. The brother and sister dynamic in this between Black Panther and Shuri. She's the sister, right?
Yeah.
It is the greatest relationship in a Marvel film for a long time.
Yes.
Since Thor Ragnarok, which is it is the last film, but like before that. It's been a while.
It's just wholesome and true and playful and it's everything about this movie is honoured and wholesome almost.
It feels real, which is a lot of this film feels real, which is very strange for a city that's hidden by a big technological glass dome. And that glass dome, admittedly, when it kind of reveals and they like flight the ship through it, I'm like, this has happened last year. It's Wonder Woman. It's totally Wonder.
Yeah.
But Marvel and DC often do this like Wade Wilson, Slade Wilson. It's always going to happen. But also, this film has some Wonder Woman vibes in a different kind, in the best way it could.
Yeah, one thing that I was struck by almost consistently throughout the movie was the strong comment on feminism. This is probably the best way I have seen equality between sexes portrayed. Right from the start, the king and his commander, who is a woman. It is just pure equality.
Yeah.
It is relying on you. There's no sexual innuendos. There's no tension. There's no, oh, you can't do it because you're a woman, or man, you're an idiot because you're a man, like use your thick head. Like there was no comment from either gender on the other's ability to do, like, or who they were as who they are. They were incredible women, and watching that as somebody who is for feminism and equality, as a woman who's like, I'm a strong, independent woman. Like,
it's good to actually see strong, independent women in film. Womans? Yeah, sure.
Womans. That's the thing now. It made me so empowered watching them. So I feel like I just really need to say thank you to the women who were in this movie for just playing them to absolute perfection. These strong women, and the director who actually wrote the movie as well. Thank you so much for, you know, just
portraying not just women but men and race as well is just perfect.
You know, right? Like, spoiler. So if you're in the spoiler section anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
this time you keep talking.
Comments that they made on racism, the experiences that the African people have been throughout the ages, and quite specifically African Americans, even still to this day, what they experience is something that we, you know, as our race can't understand. There is a line in it. I won't tell you when it pops up.
That's spoiler section. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's so spoilery.
Oh, it's fine. They've gotten to this point.
Okay,
it's fine.
The last line that Killmonger,
what a name.
the villain of the story, says is, you know, he's been stabbed and he's dying. And he says, no, let me die. Bury me in the oceans with my ancestors, because they knew, like from the boats, because they knew that death is better than bondage.
From the boats was such a especially in Australia, because it's consistently a friggin' thing. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, just that addition to an already powerful line was like, oh man.
Yeah. Because they knew that death is better than bondage. And that is something that I have never experienced, really, on this particular level. But it's such a strong comment to what is actually happening around the world, in Australia, in America, in almost every country. This war between races. And the second last scene of this movie is kind of the beginning of breaking down those barriers and saying, like, we don't want to be separate from you. We want to be at peace and work together as a whole for the greater of the world. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I so long.
It's such a great scene as well because it turns it's almost like the opposite of Civil War where they're gone against each other. It's the same kind of like they're in a setting of political and law enforcement, and it's just like, hey, let's just level the playing field and help each other. So it's a really cool continuation of where Marvel's going with its world, basically.
I would probably just urge any person, whether you're Marvel, DC, or just a superhero fan or not, if you're not, go see this movie anyway. Please, do yourself a favour, pay the money, and see this damn movie, because it will change your perspective on something.
100%. It's I haven't seen Ryan Coogler's only other film, which is the director-writer, but Creed is this like reintroduction to the Rocky franchise. In the same way, it flips what Rocky was on its head, because it's always been that white guy bashing other people, whereas Creed is about one of Rocky's opponent's sons, and Rocky has to train him, and it's like it's
really?
very good.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
And it's Michael B. Jordan who plays Killmonger in this. He plays Creed. It's very good. It's a very good film. But it's clearly something he's very good at, is taking on a franchise that's existed and turning it on its head and making it new and making it fresh, because this film, again, just like Ragnarok before it's just moving this franchise in such a direction that is... It's so needed.
Such a good direction. And so needed.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. What else do we say? The accents in this movie is incredible.
Yeah.
Like...
Yes. Oh, the accents. To think that, you know, even Martin Freeman, literally no one is using their real accent in this film, and they're all amazing. I mean, maybe some of the Wakandans are, but the main protagonist. Protagonist? Protagonist?
Protracted.
We'll cut into you saying something intelligent.
Something intelligent.
Yeah, let's talk acting and accents.
I never freeze.
Just incredible. Okay, if you're into drinking games, maybe take a shot for every time I've said incredible in this review, because it is incredible. Okay, take another shot.
They recorded the soundtrack for The Incredibles today, just FYI. Oh yeah, the movie.
yeah. Hello, welcome back.
Look, I think they get the point about the accents.
Accents.
Acting.
Okay, here we go. Your favourite scene of the movie?
Do you already have one?
Yes.
Okay, well then you do yours.
My favourite scene of the movie was really right at the end of the battle scene. And this does also make a comment on feminism. Was the commander battling one of the kind of head of the tribes, and the commander has her spear almost at this leader's throat, and he says, "Would you really kill me, my love?" And she says, "For my country, I wouldn't, like, of course, or I wouldn't stop, like,
yeah, it was very powerful.
Ooh. My little rant here, as women, we feel as though, you know, love, relationships, that's everything to us, that's our whole world, when in reality, we are equal with men in almost all areas, and, you know, we have lives and passions and strength, and we give all that up for a relationship, when really this woman was able to be the commander of the army of Wakanda, be a freaking badass mother effer, know how to take down almost whole armies, and still have a relationship that was in proper proportion in her life, which I found so empowering. So very good.
That's your scene.
That's my scene. That is definitely my scene.
In stark contrast, my scene is the bit where Shuri drives an invisible car.
Wait, which side of the road is it?
For God's sake, just drive.
Okay, calm down.
I forgot about all the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, those scenes are...
They were really good.
They are the best scenes. Then there are the favourite scenes, which are the dumb action scenes.
Yeah, but they were just great dumb action scenes.
They were good.
To do a dumb action scene, they did really well.
It was just very good. The suit... Oh, what a great idea that it impacts, it stores impacts, and then you can execute it. Oh.
Another thing that I commented on was, so the sister is the scientist, so the king's sister is a scientist, and they have this moment just as he's about to go to America to do some mission. It's almost a James Bond 007.
Put that as a note as well. Coogler actually wanted to make a Bond film in this, and that's why there's like the Q scene and the car chase. And there's a scene in it that is actually no, maybe
and the casino area.
That might be my favourite scene, because those cameras, it was like it just never stopped.
Oh, they had this one just camera
continuous
just
shot
to all three of the characters in that moment.
I felt like I was directing the scene because they were fighting, and then I went, go down, and then the camera went, and I was like, yes, don't stop.
And you like, go back up again.
Go back
Whoop!
up, yeah.
And then there it was.
Claws up there, let's go up there, yay! Oh, it was great. Amazing choreography in every type of fight in this film. There's really just one gun fight, which is between Killmonger and Claw, and it's very simple, but it's very cool.
Yeah, no, it's only like a minute.
Yeah, and it's so powerful because, again, you've already watched the film, but the fact that he just flat out kills Claw is amazing.
Yeah, because I went in there expecting that Claw was going to be in there for a while, and he just died.
He just died,
but that was like the
it was the pinnacle
dive
of the film,
board into the rest of the movie. Another, like, one of those, okay, best scene, favourite scene, was the fact that you had Gollum
and
Bilbo in the same room, both
good.
with different accents as well. I'm like, ah!
It was very good. Andy Serkis, he's clearly going for South African, and actually thinking about it,
he was the only accent I couldn't pin down. Like, are you English?
But
are
it's
you
kind of...
African? Are you Australian?
It's the South African accent is Australia, New Zealand, and African combined. But I feel like he forgot to do South African sometimes and just did New Zealand. Like, every now and then he'd put a vowel in there that is South African, but most of the time he was just doing a New Zealand accent. Which is totally fine.
Works Ragnarok.
Exactly. and he was over there for so freaking long, it's fair enough that he'd be stuck with one.
Yeah, that's true.
There is a villain in this film,
He is
and
good.
he's very cool. He's very much the general thing that you do with a first solo film, like Iron Man faces Iron Man and Iron Man, Ant-Man faces basically Ant-Man and Ant-Man. Black Panther faces Black Panther in this film, but every single time they do it, it's kind of fine. It's like, in comics and in life, your ultimate enemy is yourself. So, why not go with that for the first one? Take that. Especially if your ultimate enemy is gold. That's the ultimate version of yourself. Your gold self. Let's talk about the villain.
Growing up with black prejudice, with racism, seeing, having a dad who was killed, and kind of, going into the army, and it's so strange to have something that was so... like Americana, not Americana, but like, what'd you say?
Just real. Again.
Real,
It's a real human
into
being.
something that was,
Yeah.
in almost a different universe. I completely understand this villain. I know why he's doing what he's doing.
Yep.
I feel for him, I have empathy for him, I see it, like, he's, I don't agree with the way that he went around doing it, but, I like the way that it ended as well. I like the way he died. I like the fact that his comment was the oppression of African people.
Yep.
And he died with them being side by side.
And
Not one over the other, or in submission, or an accident. It wasn't anything horrific like that. It was whilst we fought each other, we are brothers, we're the same blood, and this is why I fought, this is why I am here.
Because I think without Killmonger and whatever his real, less villainy name, I think without him, Black Panther would have done nothing. I think he would have just become a king, done some fighting, maybe got Claw, but overall the way he ruled Wakanda wouldn't have changed without him being there, and without that line as well. I think that sparked entirely what he went on to do.
Absolutely. And if you think, okay, him dying, I didn't see coming, but I thought that, no, really don't. I going, this is going to be a great movie. Like, it just, I feel every emotion for the reals. Like, I saw him die and I'm like, shooketh. I was saying when he, was kind of buried in the red sand, and then he kind of rose up into the ancestral world, the conversation that he has between his dad then going, I don't think I'm ready, to the conversation he has when he kind of comes back to life the second time going, I know exactly what kind of king I am, and you are not wrong, but you were misguided and you didn't understand, and I'm going to be like the new king. Like, I love a good turning point. I have no complaints about this movie. Except Andy Serkis's accent.
Only his accent. His accent.
His accent.
His accent. My very, very small complaint is at times I was feeling a bit of Valerian-ness when it was just kind of just sweeping over the... I love it. It looks amazing, but there was a few too many look at our amazing Wakandan city that felt a bit
Yes.
Valerian. Like when there's a bit where they swing through all the trains, and I'm like, where are we going? Get to where we're going.
Yep, oh, I see that.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't detract from the film anyway, but it's one of the very few troubles with CGI is knowing when to just pull back. Like, you know, later in the film you get a scene with Black Panther's love interest and the brilliant guard character, and they're talking to each other, and you can see the brilliant underworld of the city behind them, and that's an easy way to show the amazing CGI you have. You don't have to force your vision through the city. Just show it in creative and interesting ways. But again, doesn't detract. And this is a good way to end this. And it's not exactly a down note, but it was, oh god, Infinity War is only 2.5 hours long. But the end scene is just Bucky waking up. And you've got a lot to do in an entire film. It's your next movie. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, because Will was always predicting that the movie would lead into Infinity War and be like a
prequel sort of thing,
yeah.
But then I realised through the film, because it's only set a week after Civil War, I was like, oh shit, they can't do it. That this film exists before Spider-Man Homecoming and before Ragnarok and stuff. It's like, we can't get to it.
Ooh,
so I'm like, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. This Homecoming set after Civil War, this is only set a week after.
The things that you learn.
There you go. But basically, it was very cool, at least, to see the fact that Bucky woke up, and that it wasn't a big, stupid moment in the next film, that it was just Shuri. Clearly, it again reinforces how intelligent she is, because Cap says, we'll wake you up when we've worked out how to wake you up and you won't be screwed over.
Oh!
So clearly, old mate's sister is very, very clever, and she's worked it out, and that's a great moment, and it's a great kind of like, because Infinity War's this, it's kind of like, the end scene is this. It's like, these two worlds are now connected.
Yes. And it's like, okay, so all these end scenes, finally, and all these little, like, Easter eggs and hints and drops and little words, like in Civil War, like, do you know where Thor and Hulk are? Aha!
Yeah.
Ragnarok, like, they're all coming together. And it's exciting, you know? Infinity War is only a few months away. And I think that this was an amazing movie to do before.
It's very good, because I feel like, from what we've seen in the trailers, Black Panther, he's bringing Wakanda to Thanos. So, I'm ready for that. I'm ready. I'm worried because I care about every character in that film, and they're all probably going to die. But then they'll be back in the next film, but that's fine. You know.
Well, Wakandans do know how to kind of like...
Well, you chuck them in snow.
Apparently.
You just slide them into it. It's not a bad thing. They just chuck them into snow. It's like Walt Disney. You just chuck him into snow, stays alive. And now it's time for this. You've heard our thoughts. Again, go see the film if you haven't already, but if you haven't...
Please see that movie.
It's very strange that you're here. But yeah, so here we go.
It's taped. Knife time.
Jesus. Okay.
Don't cut towards yourself. Please. Oh, one fun thing to note that is on the front of the box. It comes with this coin, like a medallion. Yeah.
There you go.
Black Panther.
There you go. Maybe
just in case you forgot what movie you were watching. Alright.
Let's find out.
Unleash the amazing.
Hey!
I see where they went there.
Okay. Oh, pops!
We're here to help. Oh!
And a tiki, and some air.
Yeah.
And I got Shuri.
Yes!
I like her.
Women! And
a little Black Panther tiki.
Geeky tiki.
Geeky tiki.
That's really cool.
These are very good.
Eric Killmonger. Okay, Killmonger's real name is Eric.
There you go.
I love the fact that there's 2 men and 3 women on this.
This is exciting. She's got a little on her wrist, on her fists.
Oh, that was a good
cool.
scene.
Does she have a little bass? Yeah.
Yes, always.
That's one thing. Funko has to...
Do you even pop?
Yeah. I wonder why your Demogorgon doesn't stand up.
He doesn't quite.
No.
He's very tiny.
Look at this. Look at this.
She's like, oh, nuh-uh. No. Can I make a sexual innuendo joke? Nuh-uh. Should I put the strong feminist next to Deadpool in my car?
It'll balance out. But this is actually should have been my favourite character in the film, so this is good for me.
Oh on the table. I
You
do
want
kind of wish I
Okoye?
got Okoye.
Yeah.
She just blew my damn mind. I thought that
Shuri transition. Well, that was our evening in the world of Black Panther. Yeah, the world of Wakanda.
Wakanda. That would definitely be a world I would visit.
Oh yeah.
That's an Africa I would go to. Well, I would actually go to actual
Just the
Africa.
normal Africa.
So amazing.
As would that movie. As what that movie?
As what that movie.
That should be on the poster. As
Yes.
what that movie.
If you do see this movie and you like what we had to say, or you disagree with us entirely, let us know down the bottom in the comments. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Feedback is good all around.
If you hit the dislike button, also say why.
Please.
Because it's fine to hate exactly everything that we just said, but just tell us why you hate it.
We seek to understand.
Yes.
Equality.
Equality.
Moving towards a better future.
Moving towards when superheroes can be superheroes. And not super zeros. But don't react kindly to that. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want more of this stuff, hit the subscribe button. We'll try and get it to you.
As soon as we possibly can.
Yeah, just like an answering machine.
Yeah.
Until the next video, the Dodo out.
May's out.
That's good.
That was really fun.
That was a good one. I should stop it.